we go. Hello everyone. Long time no see. A lot of stuff's happened. I'm back. Yeah. Alright. So, let's talk about some Halloween stuff and some Star Stable updates and just a little bit of everything. Let's get Clarisse news going. Okay, so first things first, the cauldron. If you have stuff like this, you need to know you don't actually have to go around and collect everything. You can just pull this stuff out of your inventory, and even though it says 0, it'll still count. Okay, so, see, it says 0, watch this, oh, you can still put it in anyway. So that's actually changed. Last year, if it said 0, you had to have it in your inventory and then relog, and it would count. Luckily they fixed that. So, see, you can still do it, still works. Oh, great fun. Now, so the one thing that I've noticed about this cauldron is everyone's saying that you need to put different things in the cauldron to get different results. They're saying that, like, oh, you can't just throw whatever you want in there. Like, to get the cat, you need to use the worm and moss and this and that. Like, that's not true. You can literally just toss whatever you want in there and it works. So what I've been doing, this has been my combination. Ignore what's going on. My inventory's great. These have been the 3 plants that I've thrown in every single time, and I've unlocked everything from it, like every single time. So anybody telling you that, oh, you need a specific combination, that's a total lie. They've probably convinced themselves of that, but that's not true. All I've been doing, I've been throwing in the exact... Ooh, there's a... Am I too fat to fit... Oh, there we go. Shard back here. Okay. I've been doing the same thing every single time, and I got the entire set. I keep throwing away the helmet because I don't wear helmets. Gross. Safety? Who is she? See, the entire set. So, oh my god. I don't know if you heard that or if it'll even pop up in the recording, but I have... Where is it? There it is. Here. I have this can, if it'll make the noise. And I don't know why it does it. It'll just randomly make that noise, and I don't know why. It's my haunted can. It scares me so bad every single time it happens. So I recently got back from being away for a while. I have undergone a lot of... Ooh, they added a new... Oh, that's cute. Oh yeah, that's another thing. For everyone wondering where the event is, you can click the event button, and it shows you where the event is. I can't tell you how many people literally sit there and don't help themselves in chat all the time and are like, where's this, where's this, where's this? You do know that if you actually like participated in the game and looked around, you'd find it. It's not that hard, especially limited time events. They make finding them painfully obvious. And not to mention, oh my god, they got rid of the news button. If you look at Star Stable's website, they have the news posted all the time. Same with their social medias. So like finding the things is not hard. Also, pumpkin locations. There's one here. I'm kind of just breezing by them. There's one down there in that ravine. There's one right there. The reason why I know where these pumpkin locations are is because there was an event a long time ago where you would farm them. Oh, there's another one. There's another one over there, and then up on that hill by that tree over there, there's another one. That's all the pumpkin locations. There was an event where you had to farm them and get golden pumpkins. So you had to complete like 200 of these pumpkin things, and I did it, and I got the gourd and all that. Yeah. I'm cool like that. So, yeah, you just kind of... I think that I'd be a lot smarter, and I could be way more successful in life if I would remember things that were important and not random Star Stable facts. But you know what? Here we are. So, since I've been gone, I've noticed that the population of the game has severely decreased. Now, I don't know if that's for every server, but it's definitely what I've noticed. Now, some people were talking global the other day, mentioning servers that they see are dead. A lot of people have been saying that the servers have been dead recently. I've been trying to figure out why that is, because I was gone for about 2 months, and I missed quite a few updates. So when I came back, it's interesting. When you're gone from the game for 2 months and you come back, like, there's a lot of new stuff, right? Because that's 2 months worth of updates to be like, whoa, this is so cool. Look at all this stuff. Honestly, that is the reason that I got a Frisian, was because it was a horse that came out during the months that I was gone. And do I like them? Yes. They still look at their toes. They still flick their toes, but not nearly as bad as the Dutch warm blood. So this is still a horse that is abused. Oh my god, the can did it again. Stop it! Star Stable just does not learn. And I intend to put out a video not too long from now about Star Stable and the abusive practices that it exudes. There's so much that this game gets wrong about horses that they completely fail to acknowledge. Not what I wanted, but sure, let's do this race. Another thing that was new from when I was gone was the medieval event. I'm really glad that they added that. That is such a cool event. I had fun with it. It was neat. But the problem is, there's just nothing to it. Like, they put a lot of work into it. It's very unique looking. It's very cool. But there's not much to do. Obviously, you see little dragon pets. Like, those are super cool. But overall, it's not a very engaging event. You get your javelins, which is really neat. I think that's a really cool addition, but that's about it. Like, I completed for 3 houses, and have javelins for them. That's really cool. But other than that, there's not that much to that event, and people were very mad about that. They're saying that this game, the content is flat, basically. There's nothing new that they're really adding. They're just focusing on pushing horses out to new people, and I agree. I think the Frisian is a prime example of that. It's just so money hungry. They already redid the Frisian once, so to redo it again and to be like, oh, well, we did it with better colors. I will acknowledge that they made the gray at the medieval event. They made that one a Frisian sport horse, which means it is a cross with other breeds. I really appreciate that. That is good. That was one of my main complaints. The fact they did that, good on. I'm not mad. That's cool. No complaints there. The one complaint I do have is that they still have markings on them. Frisians are a solid black horse. This is a Frisian. The sun-bleached one counts. I'll count that one too. You can argue that very rarely they come in red. The dark, like, flaxen, not flaxen, the liver chestnut color. You can argue that, and I might even accept it. But to tell me that they have those, like, forehead stars or the patterns or anything like that, I don't buy it. That's not true. They wanted as much variability that they could have so they could market it, and that's still shady to me. I seriously still question their business practices. I always have. And then, I don't know if you've noticed, but if you look at all the news in Star Stable, they are pushing for this, for the Frisian so hard. And in all of their Halloween stuff, ever since the new carousel horse and the dark core, like, robot horse came out, they have not been in a single picture. It has always been the gray Frisian sport horse. Why is that? They care way more about pushing out these horses than they do their Halloween horses. They really want the Frisian to succeed, because here's the problem though. I want it to do well too. And the only reason I say that is because Star Stable heard that the community was upset with the Frisian, and they redid it because the community was upset. Did they do it because the community was upset and they want to keep the community happy, or did they do it because they knew that if they redid it, the community would receive it well and give them money? Personally, I believe it's the second option, but that doesn't matter. Because if the community is willing to spend money and be happy and have more engagement, then Star Stable wins. So I think that, yes, although they did want the Frisian to do well and they obviously wanted to make money off of it, this, that, and the other, I think this was all an experiment to see if they redo horses and listen to their community, will there be more engagement, and is it even worth redoing their horses to make the community happy? And the reason I say this is because of this blasted breed right here, the Tennessee Walker. This horse makes me infuriatingly mad. The only reason I have this one is because of this coat. Like, don't let me tell you. They do so well on these Halloween horses. Oh my goodness, just look at that. I don't care that it's a I have it for the fact that it looks like this. Anyway, talking about the walking horses, they got literally everything about this horse wrong. The fact that it trots is a disgrace to the breed as a whole. This is not a walking horse. This is a disgrace. That's a mutt. So the reason that I bring that up is because I'm wondering that if they see that the Frisian was successful, that it made the community happy to redo the Frisian, if that means they'll redo other horses that players are mad about, such as the walking horse. Because if that's the case, and they're willing to redo the walking horse, then I would literally buy every single one of the new walking horses if they redid them and did them proper, I'm telling you. Because what they have out now is just so wrong. Like, I personally believe that Star Stable hates gated horses. There's no other explanation for why they did the Paso and the Walker so poorly. I just don't get it. But moving back to the Halloween stuff and away from my ranting, love that these events do so well. But here's another problem that I've noticed is Star Stable has been removing events recently. Let's look at the Cloud Kingdom event. I had some choice words to say about it back then. I believe that removing the Cloud Kingdom and the only fun, interactable event from that event was a bad choice. The Cloud Kingdom event was literally just to sell Pride merchandise. I believe that the event is stupid, personally, because in Star Stable's terms and conditions, they literally say that participating in any form of romance is against their rules. Pride is being proud of your sexuality. What does that infer? That infers your romantic interests, which is strictly against Star Stable's terms and conditions. So the fact that that event exists, I understand that it's to show members of the Pride community that they're accepted and all this, that, and the other. Whatever. I get that. But it's very poorly done in a game where I feel like a Pride event shouldn't even be necessary. Because this game, it's not like love is a theme. You know, so like, but here's the thing. And if you want to have it, that's cool. Bring Valentine's Day back. Because they used to have a Valentine's Day event and they removed it because, oh, well, you know, we can't promote dating on our game. Okay, well then don't promote gay dating on your game. It's the same thing. That's one of the reasons I hate Star Stable. I love the game, but I love it so much that I critique it. You can't go against your own rules like that. Like, it's so hypocritical. And you can't expect your players to follow your rules if you don't follow your rules. That's another thing we'll get into. Oh yeah, here's another thing. If you press V as in Victor on your keyboard, you can view the championship schedule. Stop asking in Global when the next championship is. Use your brain. Anyway, back to what I was saying originally about the events. They've been removing so many events from this game. Now, and I understand why. So for those of you who do not know, Star Stable is not in the best financial situation right now. During COVID, they had a lot of players join their game and start playing their game and spend money on the game. Why do you think that was? It's because it was COVID. Kids couldn't go outside and play with their friends. So what did they do? They played the games that they loved because that was, you know, the only way they could reach them. They played online games. This happened to be one of them. So Star Stable made a ton of money around COVID, and they were able to launch a bunch of passion projects. The Mistfall series, comic book series, things like that. All of those were passion projects. the reason why they do that is because it's a way to show off their creativity. It's a way to engage the audience. It's not profitable. So Star Stable knows this. They made a show series because they were passionate about it. So a passion project is anything that you make knowing that you're not going to make money out of it, but you're doing it because you love it. I draw. I'm a passion artist. Um, I like to believe they're really good drawings because I love to do it. It is a passion. Star Stable did the same thing with all of those things that they put out, the Mistwell series and all that, because it was a passion project. So when the money no longer allowed them to produce these passion products, what do you think is the first thing they cut? Obviously, you can't cut your essential things, like paying your employees, very essential. Paying for the servers, very essential. You come into a point where you have to sacrifice your creature comforts for functionality. So here's the problem, though. Star Stable cut all that out to make money. Star Stable needs to understand that you have to spend money to make money. So back in the day, Star Stable had brand deals with Nickelodeon and JoJo Siwa and all that kind of stuff. Star Stable was making a lot of money then. Why do you think they made more money? Because of those brand deals. And when you make advertisements, those are ways to make money. The problem is Star Stable is afraid to spend money to make money. They're afraid to take these risks. And because of that, they're not making as much money as they used to. I'll go back to the walking horse because I hate it so much. I feel like they're also afraid to take risks. They're doing what they know works because they fear that if they try something new and it flops, then it'll completely ruin them. I feel like the walking horses were a prime example of that. They were afraid to make a horse that didn't trot because that's what players love and that's what they're used to. So making something that is against the grain, basically, they were probably afraid that it wouldn't do well. But here's the thing. You need to exemplify the traits that make horses unique. I say that in every single video. I believe that if they did lean into the fact that walking horses don't trot, which, by the way, I feel like they did it because dressage is the most popular thing in the game. I think it's dumb, but people like it, whatever. They're trying to lean into that. And I think that kids who know nothing about horses and Star Stable, who knows nothing about horses, believes that you have to trot to perform dressage. That is not true. Gated horses do dressage all the time, and in fact, they sometimes even do better than non-gated horses in dressage. They're amazing at it. They are so well balanced. They're fantastic. So to say that that's the case is just wrong. Yeah, so I want them to lean into the fact that gated horses are as amazing as I keep trying to tell everybody they are. Because they are. They're amazing. But it doesn't matter because we want horses. What is happening there? What is going on with your leg? What is this? What is that? Yeah, it's pretty bad. Okay. Alright, I'm done, I promise. Again, Star Stable's afraid to take risks, and I feel like that is also harming them financially. The problem is, I feel like they're taking risks in all of the wrong aspects of the game, and it's being ill-received. So I feel like the medieval event flopped because of all the bugs that came with it. Now, don't get me wrong, I didn't care about the bugs with that. It doesn't matter. Bugs happen. Yeah, they were slow to fix the bugs. I understand how that could be infuriating, but honestly, it happens. Who cares? I feel like because the community was so outraged that there was nothing to do during the medieval event, and that there were so many bugs, it just made them so mad that Star Stable is probably now still more afraid to take risks, because every time they do, it's not well received. I feel like Star Stable's not in a good spot right now, because they probably feel like every single time they take risks, the community bashes them for it. So what's the point in taking risks if you only get flamed for doing so? And I understand that that fear. Assuming I have time before some of my next steps happen, I'm gonna try and make a few videos explaining some of the horses they've done dirty in this game. I think that'll be very informative, especially for Star Stable if they ever choose to see why they've done so bad. This company makes me upset because it has the potential to do extremely well, but it just chooses not to. And we can tell them as much as we want to do better, but they're just not going to. Like, if they don't want to improve, there's nothing that we can say or do to make that happen. I understand that we're not receiving the quality that we would like. I understand that these events aren't as good as they can be, but you have to remember this too. I see a lot of people complaining about star coin prices and everything. Here's the problem. They're so high, and don't get me wrong, I'm not defending them. I don't think they should have boosted the price. I think they should have left it the same, because sometimes less is more. But they need to. Here's the thing that people don't understand about this game. It's an online server game, which means that they need to pay to keep the servers running. They need to pay. And these are not bad servers, by the way. Like, I've played other MMO games, and the desync on those servers are sometimes worse than, than Star Stable. Star Stable has some great servers. Like, they pay a lot of money for these servers. So you have to pay for your servers. You have to pay for your animators, your storyboard writers, your artists, your media crew, your admin team, the coders, literally everything you can think of. You need to pay all of these people. And then you need to pay for the tools that you work on. You need to pay for all of this stuff. It is expensive. It is very expensive. So to be dogging on Star Stable, like, oh, this update was boring. The problem is they update this game every week. They have 7 days between one update and the next to do all the bug fixes they need to do and to update an entire new thing, to add an entire new thing to the game. That's why some updates are boring. Some of them are just close, because we would throw an absolute fit if we didn't receive an update on Wednesday, but you know what? We still throw a fit anyway if it's not to our standards. So here's the problem. If you want all of your high-end updates and you want the game to always bring you something new, do you know how much money that's going to cost? That's where the problem lies, because they don't make enough money to pay all of those people. And on top of that, if you wanted them to make even more money, to put even more new things into the game, and to constantly have very stimulating and advanced updates, do you know what you would have to do? Spend more money on the game, buy more star coins, but you don't want to do that because there's no content. Do you see where the problem is? So that's another issue right there. You complain about the prices being so steep, and then you complain that there's no content. Let's look at other MMOs, for instance. So here's the thing. What I do want to see is I do want to see Star Stable change. I want to see them change their payment things. I want them to change pay once, reduce the price a little, make it between $75 and $80 to pay once, and remove all of the other options, all of your other reoccurring payments, because no one likes games that where you have to constantly pay to play. They're terrible. I don't know a single person who likes them. Let's look at MMOs that do that. Path of Titans, Beast of Bermuda, The Isle, Animalia. These are all MMOs. Star Stable is an MMO. Those are all MMOs where you pay once to play them. So why can't Star Stable do that? Why can't they have a pay once option and that be it? because, like, look at non-star rider like a trial. That's how I look at it. Pay non-star rider, you're trying out the game. You don't know if you want to play it or not, so before spending $80, here we go, have a trial, which is really cool because not many games do that. So make it your pay once option, and then you'll still make money off of star coins because you only make 100 star coins a week. That with 52 weeks in a year, that's 5 horses a year. Assuming that you don't spend money on literally anything else, that you don't buy literally anything in the game and you only spend your money on horses, you can buy 5, maybe 6 horses. So obviously, people buy star coins. It's just how it goes. So I feel like doing that and changing the business model would help, and that more people would be interested. Because again, if you look at all the games that are out now, what games are still like monthly subscriptions? I think like World of Warcraft, but that's such an old game. Does anyone really still play World of Warcraft? I'm gonna be honest. Like that, the reason why people moved away from that again, that people moved away from that business model is because people don't like it. But to throw some shade back at Star Stable, they need to take more risks and make the game more unique and add more unique horses because they've been playing it so safe. Like, they played it way too safe. And not only that, it's not that expensive to make new things. Like, there's also way easier ways to do what they do, like fitting tack onto new horses. The community still needs to be nicer. Like, literally everybody in this equation is bad. For how long that I've played, and I've played a very long time, I've seen the community shift. I've seen them have some good arguments, and I've seen them have some bad arguments. This one right here is a double-edged sword, because yelling at Star Stable to change, but just saying, oh, this needs to happen, and then not understanding how it works, it's not good for either side. Especially, here's another thing, is that Star Stable doesn't communicate very well. So you have a community that doesn't, that just shouts, and then you have a game that doesn't communicate. So it's two people screaming at the same brick wall. Like, you need to remove the brick wall in order to talk to each other. But neither side is willing to do it. What I addressed last time, I don't think that I went about talking about this well enough, which is my fault. I'll talk about it now. I talked about the chat system being horrible. Like, you can't say anything in the chat. And I had someone comment on that video saying that, yeah, it sucks because I can't even give out my Discord, like the chat's awful. I don't think that person understood the point of that video. And to be fair, if one person has that thought and that question, then it's possible that multiple people are thinking the same thing. So instead of chastising that one person, I'm going to address the entire group. I'm glad that you cannot give your Discord away, okay? I know people are complaining, oh, I can't give my club my Discord, we can't communicate. That's a good thing, because the amount of children that have been hurt because of this game is astronomical. Rattle made a video about it. Definitely watch her video. It's going to go way more in depth than I am, and it's going to be way more linear than this video because this is more of just a rant about Star Stable and how they're doing. The issue is that kids can still give away their socials. Now, giving away your social is terrible, and I really want Star Stable to crack down more on this and saying inappropriate stuff in chat. The problem is people get groomed on this game, or a girl has, because she was able to give away personal information. Star Stable's chat is so problematic, and they need to find a way to use an AI system to detect when someone is trying to give away personal information and be able to differentiate that from, talking in like a roleplay or something. But even certain things in roleplay shouldn't be able to be said. Like, again, having romantic relationships are not allowed. It needs to be able to keep that from happening. It's a very slippery slope, and people just don't understand that. Like, people are like, oh, this game's so annoying, I can't give out my socials. But they don't seem to understand the implications of giving out your socials. If you are giving out your social media, You are you are enabling a way to talk outside of the game, which is what Star Stable has specifically stated they don't want. You are giving predators a way to talk to children without any form of barricade. The good thing about Star Stable is there is some form of barricade. There's the chat filter. It's hard to tell people private information. Still possible, unfortunately. They need to work on that. But it's definitely harder. So here's the thing. Then I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, well then parents they shouldn't let their kids play Star Stable. Wah. This is a game for kids. Are you seriously going to sit here and say, oh, well then parents shouldn't let their kids play Star Stable? It is a game for them. This game is not for you. This game is not for adult audiences. This game is not for me. And yet I still play. That's the problem. Adults still play this game. There are good adults and there are bad adults that play this game. Good adults are ones like me that mind their own business, play the game, have fun, and enjoy the game for the fact of the game, I'm not here for any ill purpose. I'm just chilling, running away from evil ghost witches, and enjoying my virtual ponies. Then you have your adults that are very ill-intended. So that's where the problem comes in, is that you can't say, oh, kids shouldn't play this game because, there's adults on here. No, 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 no. This game was made for kids. Are you seriously going to scare away the intended audience so you can have a creeper on here? That's disgusting. No. Kids should play this game. If you are the person saying, oh, well, if they don't want to get hurt, then they shouldn't play, you're the one who shouldn't play. Because clearly, if that is the thought that you are having, you are too old for this game and you need to be playing older games. Games that are more directed towards your age. Yeah, sorry if that came off a little aggressive, but I mean it wholeheartedly. If you believe that kids shouldn't play this game, you shouldn't play. But Star Stable does, on the flip side of that same coin, they need to protect that young audience, and they're not doing a good job at doing so. I said it in the last video, why do adults stick around in this game? They stick around because it's nostalgic, because it is a game that they played when they were a kid. That is why I stick around. It's just the way that things are, for this game. The reason why people play is because it's so nostalgic. It's such a good game. That's where the problems come in. Because Star Stable has made such a good game, such a fun game, a game that people absolutely adore, now they have to suffer the consequences of adults being here, with this young audience. And it's so problematic of how to protect this young audience and still keep everybody engaged. Because I'm not going to appreciate every single update that comes out of this game. I'm not. And neither are you. But you got to remember, this game is not for adults. They are adding some more mature themes and stuff in to the game. And I have mixed reviews about that too. Because on one side, they understand that their audience is getting older. They understand that, let's face it, the majority of the players on SSO, they're either the target audience and they're very young, or they're teens that have stuck around. And they know that. So there are certain themes in the game that are very mature. They cuss in some of the quests and, things like that. They mention the horse being the Concord being a affiliate or a cult, and they talk about the horse's genitalia. Like, there are mature themes, but they do it in a way that I feel still kind of safeguards kids, because those mature, like the cussing and the immature references are they're way later in the game, and they're like deep in dialogue, and little kids aren't going to sit there and read all the dialogue. In most cases, some of them are too young to even understand how to do quests. Like, it's crazy how many people in this game just straight up don't do their quests. It's so wild. So Star Stable has done it in a way that is safe, So here's the double-edged sword of that. It's good that the company understands their demographic and understands their audience. I get that. That's great. You know, they're trying to keep everyone engaged and have a good time. Like, I appreciate the effort. Here's the problem. They are doing it in a way where now having those mature references, they're encouraging an older audience, I'd say. So this goes back to Star Stable breaking their own rules, where they don't want an adult audience on the game because it puts kids in danger. So they're trying to accommodate the older audience at the same time. You know what I mean? Like, you can't get rid of the older audience. It's just not possible. So instead of getting rid of them, you simply tell kids to be safer and then don't put anything in place to protect them except a broken chat filter that doesn't work. And then you tell adults, hey, be nice. Here you go. Here's some quests to satiate your mature, like, humor. Do you see what I mean? It's not... This game is incredibly broken. But anyway, I think I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed watching me participate in the Halloween event, and maybe, maybe I've said something to inspire you. Maybe you've gained a new outlook at something. Whatever the case, I'm going to try and cut this video down to where it's a digestible length. I just want to make people think. So let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I will catch you guys in the next video.